Hi, Sven, joining me on this episode to talk about a new platform, prediction market one called Foreon. And I'm pretty interested in this one because I have absolutely no idea how it works. So, Sven, welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, hi, Peter. Thanks for having me.
It's always good to talk to the team members and founders so I can learn a little bit more about these and then share it with the community as well. So let's get a little bit of understanding how you got into the crypto space and how you found yourself in the Cardano ecosystem.
Yeah, so I first got into the crypto space when I read in a blog back in the day. It was about, apocalypse, the earth is going down tomorrow, buy some food and store it and buy Bitcoin. And I was like, okay, what's that Bitcoin thing? And so I Googled that and lo and behold, I found in Germany, I found a website. It was bitcoin.de, I think. And I tried to buy it. And it was just an informational website. And I was like, how can I buy it now? So I was desperate, but couldn't figure it out. So that was my first touch. I don't know, 2014, whatever, some early days. And then I followed the crypto space quite a bit. I followed IOTA, by the way. I thought it was an interesting project, but it never really took off, which surprised me. And I just kept being passive. And, I studied business administration and I was, doing Forex stuff and, financial stuff all along. And then I came across Cardano, the whiteboard video, the famous one. And I watched it a couple of times because I didn't understand much. Ethereum was never my thing, but I kind of followed Cardano and I kind of liked the way how they presented it, the kind of how they approached it. And so I stuck with Cardano, but never did much, despite some, investing here and there. I actually caught some coins when it was 2 cents. That was really cool. That day,
Cool.
I was on the on the charts, and I was like, it can't get lower, and then it got to 1.7 or something, and then it popped back up. So I did a lot of bad decisions there. I'm not a trader really. And so in the meantime, I built my Web 2.0 company. It's about API integration. So I kind of didn't follow Cardano too much or anything. I kind of found it was immature, very immature markets. Then NFTs, I really honestly like pictures and stuff. I kind of don't dig it. It's just a pump and dump in my eyes. Of course, there are some artists and so on, but it's not my kind of thing. And then now the bear market has been there for quite a while, and I was thinking, okay, so now really things get spicy. Now we get lots of cool updates in Cardano. Smart contracts are not only out, but have been proven. And we had a lot of cool developments in the recent months and years, and many more things coming up, which are not critical, but are quite improving everything. And so I thought, okay, now it's a good time to actually jump into it and to create a project and to do something and to apply my skills and my team and so on. So we decided last year to move into it and to do some research on our own pockets, let's say, and to see how we can apply ourselves. And then 3 months ahead, we met Toshi and we got this project together. Yeah.
It's pretty cool. And I've been looking into what you're trying to build, and it's probably best to explain from yourself. Like, so what is the actual platform? What is Foreon, and how is it different to what's existing out there at the moment?
So when I'm also pretty politically interested, right? And I think that many people blast out their opinions and in the moment they blast it out, they have no idea about what they're saying and they cannot back it up. So if I was saying, okay, Peter, like that's a cool opinion, but let's put some money behind it. You're like, oh, by the way, I gotta go now grocery shopping, right? You run away, back out. But now having this opportunity to have a market and to actually say, okay, now let's make this a market, this question, whatever it is, maybe politics, maybe sports, maybe anything else, weather. Let's back it up with some funds and see who's actually going to turn out to be the winner. And I found that a pretty fascinating idea. And so we pursued first of all the idea and figured out, okay, there are some platforms that already do it, and they do it quite successfully. Some have gone down as well. So we looked into it more, and we were really we thought we were onto something. And so, yeah, we decided to go for a decentralized predictive markets platform. You can think of it as a market platform, in the sense of that anyone who is whitelisted can create a market of his liking, and the other ones can participate and predict the outcome. Um, I'm not sure if it's a good idea to speak about betting. I do it all the time because it's so close, but it's much more than that. But let's take a simple bet. Let's say you have in Australia, you are a rugby. You like to predict rugby outcomes, right? So you and your friends sit together, have a beer, and for example, you, Peter, you put up the whatever league game, and the other ones bet on it, and everyone else in the world, for example, South Africans and English people who also understand rugby, they can now place their bets on it, and then in the end, it's going to be resolved in a decentralized, trustless way. So we integrate an oracle, which now provides the info of the outcome of the match onto the blockchain, and now the smart contracts, which had previously received the money from your wallets, now automatically settle and resolve the question, and now you get your payout if you did it right. And also, because you're the market maker, you get your reward for setting and catering the market itself. So that's the basic idea. How the platform works, but there's a catch. There's a cool other feature as well. So let's say you're halfway into the match and it looks very bad for your team, so you can already sell the shares that are kind of worth something in the middle. It's like not total disaster, but it's not all the way up, right? So you can already sell the shares, and somebody else who really believes in it can buy them up. And let's say towards the end of the game, it's going to be flipped around, and so they make a lot of money by buying the shares low and selling high. Just like in every other market, there is going to be a secondary market along the way. So it's not only point A, I buy the shares, or I make the prediction. Point B, it's settled, but also in between, it's a liquid market.
That is a very interesting mechanic there for the secondary market. I really didn't think of that. And that's actually a pretty good benefit why someone would use this over a regular betting platform. Because that was my clincher there. It's like, why would I use this one over another existing really big popular betting platform that already exists with lots of users and whatnot?
So the traditional market has a lot of famous problems, right? So I think it comes out. Let's make it very clear. It comes out of the very dark places. Everyone who has watched, for example, Peaky Blinders, they know it's a traditional mafia background. And why is it like that? Because the bookmakers, they took the bets and then they manipulated the races. For example, they poisoned the horses or something like that to actually change the outcome to a very unlikely one, on which they put all the money and then made a big bag. So that's one of the problems. But more problems include it's very centralized in a way that the betting platform, for example, let's say you have a rugby betting platform, you cannot bet on the political outcome of something. So it's very limited because they make the decision what they put up on their platform. On the same time, it's completely decentralized. Let's say you are very interested in synchronized swimming in the Russian Federation, right? And this is your thing, and you're the only Australian who's ever interested in that. So let's say you have an Australian platform that offers such market. It will be very illiquid because there's no participants there. But if we collect it on a global level, and everyone who's now interested in synchronized swimming of ladies between 20 and 23, whatever, then it can be a liquid market across the world, because somebody from Argentina is also going to participate in it, for example, right? So there is a million vendors right now, but that way, especially the small markets are not going to be very interesting. And this also gives, for example, arbitrage a possibility. If you are not interested in synchronized swimming, but now there's a big market, it can be something that you can use and bridge it into, let's say, the Russian Federation market. Let's say you're a Russian citizen in this case, and now you can place a bet on the traditional platform and in our platform, and now you can have the arbitrage between that. So that's also an interesting thing. Besides that, it's very simple one: high fees. You have very, very high fees in traditional betting and prediction markets offerings. It's very unflexible in terms of offerings. I already told you, and so we try to think it new. Okay, so we try to, for example, we try to bring it on a blockchain, because then we have no hands in it. So the trust comes from the Oracle. So they resolve the market, right? And we just provide the logic, just quote unquote, provide the logic for the smart contracts and everything that we put on the platform, so that everyone can put up their markets and interact with it without us being the middleman and having even the chance of controlling it. And that's one thing that I think blockchain should do. It should solve problems which were not previously possible to solve in decentralized way, and this is one of the applications that fits very well for it, in our opinion there.
Very cool explanation, and a very niche example there with the synchronized swimming.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting example. You also mentioned oracles as well to get the authority of the outcome of particular events. So how would an oracle data feed work in this sense? Especially for something very niche, like maybe a boxing match between you and myself. Like, how would that data feed into the blockchain to automate the payouts for the people that placed a bet?
Yeah. So this is something that we're currently working on. It's so for the very niche ones, that the boxing match between us, for example, probably we have to think about something else, because there are not multiple sources. But let's say a more or less global event. Let's say the outcome of an election or something like that. We will have multiple data sources we can pull from. And what the Oracle does is it puts all these data sources in, and what do they call it again? They consolidate those data sources and figure out a way that it's most possibly is. And let's say there's an outlier, they can eliminate it and so on. So it's hard to manipulate. And if you trust the Oracle, you can trust our platform, and we don't have control of the Oracle. So that way you can establish for yourself, like all the time, do your own research, right? Is the source of truth, is it also trustable for you? If so, then you can trust the market. And let's say it's an election, so we work together in putting together the data sources, and if they need it, or they do it themselves, and then they put this data onto the blockchain, and the smart contract can read it. And so as soon as the data has been published, it will settle the market in this or that direction. By the way, we only offer for now binary questions. So is it going to be Biden, yes or no, for example? And then it's going to resolve this market, and then the payouts can happen that way. What we are planning to do is that we offer for the custom markets, we offer some let's say a bush approach, right? So it means that we provide the general possibility to enter rugby markets, for example. And then, for example, Peter, you're interested in that particular game, so now you can pick from that Oracle feed that we have, like that we have all the games, but you want that to be up. And now you can choose from that. That's the first iteration of it. And then, of course, we have to think about how we can get niche, more niche, more niche, more niche over time, potentially doing something, let's say, with less trust, but we can hook up the data sources if possible, or we can speak with them to hook up minor data sources. Of course, this is also a cost. This has cost implications, but we're thinking actively about making, like, the end goal would be you create any market that you want and able to resolve it. But of course, it's a very good question, how we're going to do it. So we go from big to small first.
It sounds hard. That doesn't sound
Yeah.
like an easy process to aggregate all these data sources and provide them as an Oracle on chain for your platform to read and feed through. And that sounds like another project in itself, really. You could set up another project to provide all those Oracle, that data as an Oracle service for other platforms that might need it too.
Oh, yes. Yes, exactly. We're thinking about it, but we try to keep it for now narrow, so we don't overdo it. This is also why I'm sharing this with you. But I think also Cardano itself is driven by a vision, right? So it was not day one that they even had smart contracts, and people still, I read Twitter every day, and still people think that, like Ethereum world, people think that Cardano has no smart contracts, and it's somewhat the same with us. We go from the big ones, which have high liquidity, high interest in people, but we strive and aspire to go to the small ones, not because of the profit, but because um, I think everyone should, like, it should be community driven instead of like, we can put the presidential elections in the U.S. and say, well, the ones in Ecuador don't matter, right? Because for the U.S. people it doesn't matter, but for Ecuadorian people it does matter. So who are we to choose which are the markets of interest for you in particular? And we don't want to be the judge of that. And so the vision must be, subsequently, the vision must be that everyone should be able, or at least whitelisted people, like trusted people who are not going to manipulate, for example, can put up the markets and yeah, drive that niche for themselves, and even, I think, even own the market. Like, if you're the synchronized swimmer guy, like, why are you not the one who puts up all the markets in this area, and organizes this? There is a lot of implication of also organizing it, and organizing the participants and keeping the crowd and stuff like that. There are communities who can benefit from that. Let's say you have on your channel, you can have polls, or you can have markets, like, when whatever, do we see a major adoption in Hydra in 2023, and you name some sort of condition when you think it's true. Like, I don't know how we could measure it, but that could be something. And you have a very specific community, and you can think of polls and questions that are relevant for your community, and now we can put it up, and we can, it's prediction market as a service, so to say, right? So we're thinking of all those applications for it, and we're still very in the beginning, but it's a cool horse to ride on, and let's see where it takes us.
Very interesting. Yeah, you could do something like, will the TVL of Cardano reach 600 million
Yeah.
by this month or next month or something like that, and then that should be an easy data source. So it's beneficial for me as the person organizing all that, because I get commission or the fees from setting it all up. Is that right?
That's right. You get, of course, the platform gets a little bit, and the market I would say promoter maybe is a good word for that, because
Yep. Yep.
it's for the boxing matches they have such thing. It organizes the crowd, yeah. So you get a part of it, and of course the users can participate in the markets and can win there. But also we will need liquidity, so that's another way to make money, to provide liquidity in our tokens liquidity pool. Yeah, those are the obvious ones, and the wallets are going to be funded by Jet. That's our plan right now, and ADA most probably,
Interesting.
or
Yep.
maybe only Jet, because otherwise we probably need to have a conversion. So we need another Oracle and see that we have a conversion, like how much Jet is an ADA worth now, and the other way around. Yeah, so it's going to be Cardano native for now, and then in the future, yeah, we might expand and so on. But we can speak about that when it's the time. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. All right. A couple of things I want to pull out from that. So the platform itself takes a fee. What's the fee that the platform takes?
We're thinking about 2.5%, and for the market, for the promoter, we're not yet sure what is going to be the one. We're thinking about 1%, but yeah, honestly, we might speak to you or any other promoter, and they say, well, this is not a good approach, or the community is going to say something different. It's just like putting out numbers for now, and we're going to, as I said, we're community centric. So it means that the more the community gets out of our platform, the more they will adopt it, right? So, or put it in another way, the less we make and the more you make, the more you're going to use it more and every day. But on the other hand, we cannot develop if we don't have funds to develop, and of course we want to make some profit ourselves as well. So, and of course our investors, you already mentioned the NFT sale, and so our plan is to involve the community. We're doing already. We have a lot of talks with people reaching out and helping us out, but also give very useful advice. I just had last week somebody reached out about legal consulting and so on. So very cool community. Cardano in general, I'm very positively surprised. I've never done Twitter much before this project, so this is really cool. And the community is going to be the center of it all, because it's going to be the value of it all. Let's say it like it is. And that's what I can say. And so we are going to adjust accordingly and maximize the growth and adoption of the platform is the first target. No, the first target is to get something out that people can see. And the second one is to maximize the growth and adoption, because then these interesting markets can develop, like the more niche ones, and have enough liquidity for actually being settled and resolved with some fun and some benefit to everyone. Yeah.
Now, you mentioned the token as well. So how does that all come into play, and what's the general utility of it?
Yeah, so right now we started an NFT sale for the tokens for a discounted price. And first of all, the development, of course, is going to be driven with the token sale. Secondly, when the platform comes or gets launched, the token price is of course going to fluctuate, so you can speculate on the token price just like every other token as well. In the future, we have planned to make a stake pool offering, so you can stake the tokens and gain rewards from it. And having the token staked, it will also give you the governance opportunity. So right now we're doing it in Discord and speak to people like directly. In a small scale, this is possible, but in the future we want to take advantage of the Cardano way of doing governance as well, by holding the token and giving you a vote there. And lastly, we have on the platform, we plan that the fees can be paid in the token with a discount, so that it incentivizes that people hold it itself. Yeah, it's the FRN token. Internally, we also use it, of course, to for the founders, for the advisors, for now the early adopters. So internally, we use it in the. If you look up the tokenomics, you can go to our website and get the investor sheet there. You will see the allocation of the tokens and how it's spread, and of course, keeps the value there. And making the holders participate in the platform.
Okay, I'll make sure I bring that up and add it in the show notes so people can find out a little bit more of the token spread and the tokenomics in general about it. You also mentioned the NFT sale. So what's that selling for at the moment, and what do users get from it?
So the NFT sale is you put up 10,000 ADA, you get an NFT, and then 12,500 FRN tokens. And I think so far 29 have been sold out of 40. So yeah, a little bit more to go. And this is what kicked off so before that we bootstrapped, so paid everything from our own pockets, from my company's pockets, from his pockets, and so on. And now we are moving it into more, let's say, more serious development, which means that actually 3 more people were onboarded. We're now a team of 6 plus the founders, and some of them working around like lawyers and stuff. So it can now be considered serious development. We're making serious progress there. We have a very ambitious timeline as well. So, but yeah, I see it's all going well. And this was this is just recent development. We started, I think, May 19th or something. So it's just quite recent development there.
And in terms of development, are you writing this in straight Plutus, or are you using one of the new DSLs out there?
Yeah, we started to write in Plutus. Then we had a developer reach out for us, and he was like, "You can't do that. It's not a good idea." So we had a lot of discussions left and right, and very, very cool, useful. Reach out to us, and now we are involved with a team which has also developed the Aiken language, which helps us out there, team from TX Pipe, and they're doing great job until now. And I think our architecture is completely standing now. We have the entire plan, and we're, I would say, 10 to 20% into the development. And probably next week we can start with so the front end sketch has been done, but we want to start the actual front end development, and there's going to be a back end for the front end. So all the front end stuff is going to get some boost in the next week, so you can actually see something from there. This is very exciting times right now, and as far as I know right now, we don't have any blockers. It's just some open questions and here and there, like a normal development. But there is nothing unsolvable. We're doing well in terms of oracles. We're in many talks there, and so yeah, looking very good also in terms of our timeline. Yeah, and it's I mentioned it's being
cool.
an Aiken language. Yeah.
It's probably a good choice there. The team from TX Pipe are definitely very well versed in building things out in Aiken, obviously because they built the language. So in terms of the community building, it sounds like the community is growing quite well at the moment, which is absolutely fantastic. Where's the best place to contact and join in with the community?
Yeah, I think the number one best place is Discord, if you really want to engage. Also, if you want to get all the news and updates, Discord, you can find it if you go to foreon.network website. It will tell you how to go there. The second one is, of course, Twitter, which we use quite extensively, and we have regular Twitter spaces and irregular ones like podcasts and spaces on other platforms. So yeah, feel free there. And if that's not enough, send us a DM or reach out in any other way. If you want to inform yourself, go to the website foreon.network and download the investors deck. This is also very interesting. I mentioned the pie chart. I think you're going to put it on the screen as well. So the tokenomics and anything else that's going to be of interest for you. If you want to participate as an intern or developer, please reach out. We're always happy to have inspiring new people on the team there. If you have to contribute anything else, we've had people who offered to host some spaces and do such things. Very experienced people, very cool. Please reach out as well. If you have advice or if you disagree with me, please reach out as well. Let's have a discussion. Yeah, I'm happy to do it. As I said, I'm interested in politics, and let's settle that. And I'm not, the best in everything, but I try to be. And all in all, we try to make a platform for you guys, including Peter, to use. And for that, we need feedback and build it together. We carry the building, we carry the project, but the way it's going to turn out is going to be decided by the community.
All right, absolutely brilliant. I'll make sure I grab all those links and everything, put them in the show notes so everyone can find them and learn a little bit more about Foreon. Sven, it's been a pleasure talking to you and learning more about it.
Thank you very much, Peter.
Yeah, gotta do it like that. You've been listening to the Learn Cardano podcast. Gotta get it hype. Crypto is what we like, but this is not investment or financial advice. Gotta do your research, cause it's risky. We know it is. This show is educational and it's informative. Crypto's the future, really, it ain't no debate.